You spent years in Eternum, building cities, fighting corruption, standing beside people who became more than just usernames. You showed up when the game asked you to believe in it. And it's okay if now, after everything, you feel tired, hurt, like the world you poured yourself into just let go of you. If you're here because you don't know where to go next, because you're wandering without a home, I want you to know this isn't the end of your story. There's another world out there that's still alive, still welcoming new heroes, and it's not asking you to start over alone. It's called Guild Wars 2. Hi, I'm Oreo, and welcome to the main quest. Guild Wars 2 doesn't ask you to chase a gear treadmill or start from zero every few months. There is no subscription, no seasonal wipe, no moment where your work becomes worthless because a new patch says so. When you earn something in a game, a legendary weapon, a mount, a memory, it stays with you. Progress isn't a race here, it's something you're allowed to keep. And the world doesn't wait for you to hit max level before it gets good. Tyria is alive from the first moment. Maps erupt into massive events, dragons tear open the sky, entire armies clash, and you're not just watching, you're part of it. Whether you're level 5 or 80, the game scales with you so you're never too weak to matter or too strong to care. The community feels different too. In New World, you fought over land. Here, players stop what they're doing to revive strangers in the rain. Commanders open their squads to anyone. Veteran players will hand you gear, advice, even their time. Not because they have to, but because that's just what people do here. Guild Wars 2 isn't perfect. No MMO is, but it respects your time, your effort, and the fact that you're a human being behind the screen. And if you're coming here from a world that slipped away, this one is built to last. If you're coming from New World, Guild Wars 2 might feel like stepping into another game entirely. No territory maps, no town ownership, no endless crafting taxes. But underneath that, there are familiar things too. Weapons define your playstyle. Dodging actually matters. You're not just pressing numbers on a hotbar, you're fighting. The biggest difference is that Guild Wars 2 lets you do that without punishing you for experimenting. One character can play every role, like tank, healer, DPS, every weapon, every elite spec. You don't need alts to explore, you don't need to restart to become something new. But Guild Wars 2 is very alt-friendly, and you can create any class you want and instantly get them up to level 80 if you really want to. And where New World made movement slow and grounded, heavy footsteps, long roads, Guild Wars 2 gives you the best mount system in MMO history. Not press mount and hold W. Actual movement. Your raptor leaps over cliffs, your jackal teleports through sandstorms. The griffin dives from the sky and picks up speed like you're flying a jet. You earn them through exploring the world, not through cash shop swipes or endgame chores. They're not just tools, they make you fall in love with traveling again. You are used to territory wars. Planting flags, defending land, scheduling wars at 8 PM sharp. In Guild Wars 2, that energy lives in world versus world. Entire servers, thousands of players, fight 24/7 for control of keeps, towers, and supply lines. You build trebuchets, gliders drop into castle walls, and zergs of 50 players crash into each other beneath burning oil. And if that's not your kind of war, structured PvP gives you a clean arena, equalized stats, no gear gap, just skill. Where New World's economy required you to live inside trading posts, crafting for settlement taxes, chasing market spikes, Guild Wars 2 treats crafting as a choice, not a requirement. You can craft legendary weapons, yes, but you don't need to just to stay relevant. Most of the best gear is earned by playing the game, not working spreadsheets. And if you love economy games, there's still a full trading post, flipping markets, material farms, and crafting profits. It's just not the only path forward. Even combat feels familiar, but more fluid. There's still action combat, dodging AoEs, blocking, timing bursts, but here your skills are fast, reactive, built around positioning and combos. You don't get stagger locked to death by wolves because your stamina ran out. You're mobile, creative, and precise, and when a world boss swings, hundreds of players dodge at the same time, like one heartbeat. That feeling of fighting with people, not just near them, is everywhere. And the biggest difference, progress doesn't disappear. Your gear stays relevant, your build isn't deleted by a new season, your house isn't taken, your company doesn't collapse when people log off. Guild Wars 2 was built so that when you come back, a week, a month, or 5 years later, your character still matters. Everything you did still counts. Even the gear. You just came from a world where everything can be taken away. A company you trusted made one decision, and suddenly your home, your progress, and your future plans, all of it has an expiration date. Guild Wars 2 isn't like that. The game has been alive for over 12 years now, not because it's the loudest MMO or the biggest budget, but because it respects its players enough to build with them, and not over them. There are no gear resets, no seasonal wipes, no start from zero because a patch says so. Ascended and Legendary gear from 10 years ago are still relevant today. If you unlock a mount, a glider, a title, a skin, you keep it. Your story doesn't get deleted for the sake of keeping you grinding. ArenaNet builds on top of what exists instead of replacing it every few months. And unlike a lot of MMOs, Guild Wars 2 never became an obligation. There's no subscription breathing over your shoulder. You don't have to log in every day to stay caught up. You're allowed to leave, you're allowed to come back, and when you do, the game isn't disappointed in you, or force you to climb a mountain of chores to be worthy again. It just says, welcome back. Ready to play? Even when the developers treat this world like something that matters, they talk to their community, they admit mistakes, they've rebuilt systems instead of shutting them down, and while other studios cut staff and abandoned projects, ArenaNet is hiring more writers, more artists, more designers because Tyria isn't closing its doors, it's expanding. This doesn't mean the game is perfect. It has its flaws, its grindy days, its balance problems, like every MMO, but it's stable, it's cared for, and it's still growing, not shrinking. This isn't a temporary refuge, it's a world that intends to stay. Before we keep going, I just want to be honest with you. I'm an official Guild Wars 2 ArenaNet partner, so if you're thinking about trying the game or picking up an expansion, you can use the affiliate links in the description. It supports the channel directly at no extra cost to you, and it genuinely helps me keep making stuff like this. No pressure, just if you decide to start your journey in Tyria, that is the best way to do it. The hardest part of leaving a game isn't clicking uninstall, it's logging into a new one and feeling like a stranger. So if you do decide to step into Guild Wars 2, here's how to start without feeling alone, behind, or confused. First, create your character, but do not overthink it. There are no wrong choices here. Your race doesn't affect your stats. Your class doesn't lock you into one playstyle forever. If you loved great swords or healing in New World, start with Guardian, Ranger, or Warrior. They feel the most familiar and they'll let you swap between support, DPS, and tank later without rerolling. Movement first, power second. Do not rush to level 80. The game rewards curiosity, not speed. Explore, do heart quests, dynamic events, hero challenges, and the moment you hit level 10, turn on action camera in your settings. It makes combat feel more like New World or ESO. Then bind dodge to something easy like mouse button or shift. Trust me, combat doesn't feel right until you do this. Get your first mount as soon as possible. You don't need to finish the campaign, you don't need to be max level, you just need to reach the Path of Fire expansion. You can be level 2 and walk to the desert. The first story mission gives you the raptor, and from that moment, movement stops being a chore. If you only do one thing in the game your first hour, make it getting the raptor. You don't have to gear up alone. The gear treadmill you're used to does not exist here. Just follow the story, use whatever drops you get, and if you really want to speed it up, vendors in town sell full sets of armor for karma or gold. No crafting tax, no town board grinding, no luck-based gear score climbing. When you eventually hit level 80, the first thing you do is buy a set of Berserker, Marauder, or Celestial gear, and you're ready for anything. Learn how events work. That is the soul of the game. Guild Wars 2 doesn't wait until endgame to show you its best content. Just walk into the world and things just happen. Centaurs raid a village, a dragon attacks a fortress, players swarm, fight, build siege weapons, defend, revive each other, and you're instantly a part of it. There's no queue or group finder needed. If you see something happening, you jump in. That's it. And the biggest one, don't be afraid to ask for help. The community will show up. Type /wiki and then an item or question to instantly open answers in your browser. Type /map to ask for advice, and people literally escort you to waypoints, world bosses, or mount unlocks. Join a guild, even a random one. Guilds in the games aren't hardcore companies fighting for land, they're communities. Some farm mats, some roleplay, some just vibe and Lion's Arch fishing. And most importantly, take your time. You do not need to catch up. You don't need to rush to endgame because Guild Wars 2 isn't built with an expiration timer. The story waits, the world waits, and when you're ready, the rest of Tyria opens up. Gliding, mounts, elite specializations, dungeons, fractals, raids, world versus world, living world seasons, all at your pace. Guild Wars 2 doesn't try to replace New World. It gives you something different. It's not a game that punishes you for taking breaks or demands you log in every day to stay relevant. Your progress stays, your character waits, the world was built to last, not to reset. The world itself feels alive, cities decorate themselves for holidays, maps erupt into events without warning, and you're never too low level to matter. Whether one person shows up or 100, Tyria keeps moving. Festivals, dragons, world bosses, skyships. It's not just content, it feels like a place. And the players, they are different too. People revive strangers just because they can. Guilds throw parties for legendary weapon completions. No one cares if you're meta or not. You don't have to prove your worth to be included here. You just play and you're a part of it. Maybe that's why this game feels like a home instead of just another MMO. Your story is yours, but you're never alone in it. You're allowed to leave, to return, to wander, and when you do, Tyria is still here, waiting to hand you your mount and ask where to next. If New World was your home, it's okay to grieve it. You gave it your time, your patience, your hope, and none of that was wasted. But if you're ready to keep going, to find a world that won't disappear beneath your feet, Tyria is waiting. Not as a replacement, but as a new beginning. I'm Oreo, and this has been The Main Quest. If you ever decide to step into Guild Wars 2, I'll be right there with you.